What is going on, everybody, and welcome on in to episode 292 of the Garage Beers podcast, brought to you proudly here on the OBR streaming network. You're going to see this little QR code pop up over my brain, over my head right here. The Orange and Brown Report is Cleveland's oldest. Oh, that just covers my face. That's fine. The oldest and largest Cleveland Browns coverage site in all of Cleveland. So if you're not joined to the OBR, hit that little QR code up there in the corner. That'll take you right to the subscription page, and you can become part of the OBR community for all things Cleveland Browns. And then you get to hang out with us, whether you're here on YouTube or Twitch, whether you're watching on Facebook or X or Instagram or wherever you're at. We're glad you're here. Welcome on in. We've got a big time show for you here on episode 292. At some point, this is kind of a fun episode because we've got a really awesome former Buckeye and a really appropriate former Buckeye, especially for what's going on, what happened this week in the game. There's somebody that can really speak on the situation that they were in. He was an original member of the Houston Texans, and it's Jonathan Wells. If you remember Jonathan Wells, former Buckeyes running back, former Buckeyes MVP. He's going to be joining us tonight. We're just not exactly sure when, because he's traveling tonight. And he said when he can, he's jumping on. So it's going to be a little bit of a surprise. It's going to be a Jonathan Wells surprise for you tonight. But when he gets here, we'll bring him on. By what? By doing what?
I said, hopefully you didn't offend him.
By what?
What would I have done to
offend
him?
The team up north's name in our email to him.
Oh, you might.
I mean, it's just disrespectful.
You might have.
No. Here's the way I view it. I gotta get rid. Do the QR code real quick. I'm getting rid of it because it's like right on my face. Here's the way I view it. When you curb stomp that team, you call them Michigan. You want to say their name. Hey, Michigan.
Oh.
Hey, Michigan. Our little child. Our little baby. It's you got a couple lucky wins over us. It's like when your kid gets old enough to beat you one time in Mario Kart, and then they act crazy, and then you got to remind your kid, like, you're never going to beat me in Mario Kart again. That's what happened. And they're Michigan, and I hope they like me saying it, Michigan, because they got stomped. And we're going to talk about it with Jonathan Wells, and I hope he's not offended by it, because I'll say their name happily now. Again, we'll bring Jonathan in. We also just have a lot of other stuff to talk about between the Browns and the Cavs and the Blue Jackets and just college football and the NFL and everything going on in general. So we're really glad you're here for episode 292. With you, as always, I'm your host, Michael Keefe. Joining me in the garage tonight, my two co-hosts out in Seattle, Joey Whalen, over on the east side of Cleveland, Chad Meyer. Boys, what's up?
Oh, man. I struggle with that so much. Right? You know how you remind your kids you're never going to win again at Mario Kart. I struggle with it so much, right? Like, I feel bad that I beat them all the time. Nah. But at the same time, I only have so many years where I'm going to beat them all the time before they start beating me all the time at stuff. So I have a real hard time letting them win at anything. at anything, whether it's basketball, air hockey, got Fletch an air hockey table for his birthday, and they haven't beat me a single time yet.
That. Heck
no, never. Although Hazel's getting pretty fucking good, I gotta say that.
That's like Joey trying to beat me at air hockey down when we were in Ogilvy. Did not work out in his favor. Didn't work out in his favor, baby.
Yeah, the table's a little wobbly.
Did you come close?
Yeah, for sure it was.
A little wobbly.
Had a couple good goals, but no.
This table is.
Is this regulation?
This table's tilted.
Is this regulation size?
I think it was actually.
Well, listen, again.
I got cleaned out.
We're going to have a great, but I'm with you, Chad. My son loves games, loves Mario Kart, loves Mario Party. I never let him win.
Yeah.
Mario Party's tough to let somebody win it, though.
Well, but here's what happens. Then and there's a lot of external factors in Mario Party. So then when he actually won the first time, it was the best. He was about in tears. He jumped up and was jumping around. I think my wife was sitting out on the front porch, like reading a book, and he like immediately ran out to tell her and like feel, and I didn't let him win. Like he just won fair and square. And
man.
That's the moment. That's the moment right there. But
How mad were you in the moment? How mad were you?
I was excited for him.
Oh, okay.
But
Mario Kart or Mario Party, like you get the bonus stars at the end. Like there's some gray areas to like you win off skill.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of a dick at Mario Kart. Like I'll let him get a 1 lap head start, and then I'll just kick his ass. Like I'll just sit at the start for 1 lap, and then I'll go.
You should play. It's maybe not going to play with your kid, but you can play drunk driving.
You can play what?
Drunk driving with Mario Kart. You ever played that before?
Mike does that.
Patty. Patty, crack open a beer, kid. Let's go.
Oh, it's great. You have to finish your beer before the end of the race. And you can only drink when you're not moving.
Ooh, so it's strategery involved there.
Yeah.
Strategery.
So you know what? Next time we're together, we're gonna have to play this, Joe.
Yeah, I thought you were like Patty. I thought you were like Patty. Get in the car. Daddy's drunk. You need to drive.
Hey, and no, you're right, but we've been practicing.
You're going on your first late night Taco Bell run, son. Okay.
You're ready. I'll take a gordita bandita.
Yeah, remember that. Remember that.
Yes. So anyways, awesome show planned. We will bring Jonathan Wells in when he gets here. It's going to be a fun surprise, but so much fun stuff to talk about with him from the Ryan Day can't beat the Michigan team dynamic. That was very similar to what Jonathan Wells dealt with when he played for John Cooper in the Ohio State Buckeyes on some awesome Buckeyes teams that just couldn't beat Ohio State, to his relationship with Jim Tressel and being a founding member of the Houston Texans and so much more. We're going to get into all of it with him when he gets here, but we've got a lot of other stuff to talk about as well. Again, we're in the middle of hockey season, basketball season. The NFL season is starting to gain a little clarity, and there's a lot of wild stuff going on in the NFL that we'll get to, but can't get to any of it before we have our garage beers of the week. And I'm almost ashamed of how long it took me to realize that this is Drew, but Drew with a new name, warmed up with a handful of Busch.
All right.
And then moved on to Warp Wing, Esther's Little Secret, Caramel Pecan Doppelbock. Wow.
Ooh,
that's a whole thing.
Esther, why have you been keeping that such a secret?
That's a whole thing right there.
Little Secret Caramel Pecan Doppelbock. Yummy.
This is great timing. Our buddy Sean in the comments. What's good, boys? Every show is awesome. Thanks, Sean. I hope he means that.
This guy.
But it's episode 292, which means we are 8 episodes away from episode 300. And the question was, any big plans for episode 300? Episode 100 was Austin Carr, Rick Nash, and Joe Thomas.
Let's go.
Episode 200 was Eric Metcalf, Archie Griffin, which to this day is still wild to me.
Unbelievable.
And Kenny Lofton.
Yeah.
That was the 3 for episode 200. So if you think for 1 minute that we're not going to try to outdo ourselves, as a matter of fact, we made really good headway on this today. So Sean and everybody else that's watching, episode 300, probably going to be the end of January. That's like the date that it's slated for.
Yeah.
It could be the
January
first week
28th.
of February. We'll nail that down when we get to that. But you're not going to want to miss episode 300 because there's some big names, and some of our organizations are on board with this now too. Some of our teams, we've lauded the Columbus Blue Jackets and our relationship with them. They always help us out, but some of our Cleveland teams are jumping on board, trying to help us out with this as well. So great question, Sean. Yes, episode 300, end of January. It's going to be humongous, and you're not going to want to miss that. So, boys, you guys keep telling us in the comments what you're drinking tonight, but boys, let's get into our garage beers of the week. And Joe, what's happening out there? What are you drinking?
Let's get Romeo Cornell on. Let's do it. Why not?
Oh, okay. All right. Romeo Cornell, Eric Mangini duo.
Easily. That's Drew's suggestion. Easily the number one guest option that we could possibly get.
Boys, oh boys, oh boys.
Oh, okay.
Very excited because I am finding Christmas sales here in Seattle, Washington.
Ew.
And I'm very happy to report that they are indeed Christmas sales by gravity, by flavor, delicious. This one we have from Maritime Pacific Brewing Company, the Jolly Roger.
Oh, looks
Yeah.
jolly.
Little Skull and Bones Santa, little punk with your holiday cheer.
Okay.
And I'd say that looks like a Christmas sale.
I'd say it looks just like one.
And it tastes like a Christmas sale. My
Damn.
God.
Damn.
I'm quite happy. 9.5%, right on the money. Yes, my Christmas is made with the existence of Christmas sales in Seattle. If you've been watching the show for a while, living in Nashville, they didn't know what it was. I would go to like our local like liquor store that sold like Southern Tier and ask them if they could source 2 Xmas. And they're like, what? We don't even know what that is. And they wouldn't even ask for it. It was just like infuriating.
Nope.
So, bam, Christmas sale. Check.
Bam. All right, Chad, what are you drinking tonight?
They looked at you like, who's this fucking dickhead asking for a Christmas sale?
Christmas.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm making my way through the Sam Adams fall variety pack that I got because technically it is still fall. So fuck winter showing up early.
On a technicality.
Oh, no, it's here.
Yeah.
Winter is here.
Winter is here. But yeah, I mean, it's one of Mike's favorites. It's the Oktoberfest. Sam Adams.
Yeah, great one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Excellent.
everybody knows Sam Adams Oktoberfest. I don't need to describe it. That's why I didn't pour it into a glass. Everybody knows it. Good, delicious fall beer. Let's get drunk.
Sam Adams got some sneaky like holiday beers. Like who's on maybe 2 weeks ago I was talking about the Cold Snap.
Oh yeah.
Or last week. The Cold Snap is
100%.
great.
That was
the Oktoberfest is
Grinjinsky.
great. Yeah. They got some solid ones out there.
100%. All right. So Christmas sale out there, a Seattle Christmas sale for Joe, a Oktoberfest for Chad, and I am going to stick with the Christmas stuff. It's December, so I'm staying Christmas, and I'm going to one of my favorite. It's not a new place, and Chad, you turned me on to the place itself.
Yeah.
But the beer's been around for a while. But I just have realized that every time I buy beer from this place, I really like it. I'm going back down to Cuyahoga Falls to Missing Mountain Brewery.
Let's go.
Which is a great place. Again, if you've ever been there, it's awesome. Great place to sit outside, have some food when the weather's nice, overlooking the falls, all that. But I am doing Happy Holidays and whatnot is the name of the beer.
All right.
Happy Holidays
and whatnot.
And whatnot. And look at it. It's wrapped so nice. It's so nice. And this is what the Happy Holidays looks like. It is not as dark as it looks there. There we go. It's like a reddish, just a standard Christmas ale.
Yeah, no big deal.
And it is a perfect spiced, delicious Christmas ale. And that's what I'm drinking. So we got our beers. We're ready to go. Again, get in the comments. Let us know what you're drinking. And we'll flash it up on the screen because you guys are ready to go. And now let's get into episode 292. And again, once we hear from Jonathan, we'll bring him in. But I want to start with this, boys, because this has been weighing on my mind a little bit. And it's about one of our Cleveland teams. But it's making me think of when the appropriate time is to have strong reactions to things. And so here's what I mean by that. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers that are spurring on this thought for me, and I want to know your take. Because obviously we know what the Cavaliers did last year, 60-plus game winners, 64 games in the regular season. They get to the playoffs, they get to the second round, they get bounced by Indiana. And if you'll remember the start to last year, they were like 15-1. They went on like 3 different 10 to 15 game winning streaks throughout the course of the year. Like, it was a blast. But in the end, they made it to the second round. They got bounced. And then I look at the Cavaliers this year, and I even look at them tonight. They're about to lose to the Portland Trailblazers. They're down by 9 with a minute and a half to go. It's a shitty Portland team. The Cavs, that will drop the Cavs to 13-10 on the year. I don't think the Cavs had their 10th loss last year until like
February,
March.
end of yeah.
This will be their 10th loss of the season, 13-10, 23 games into an 82-game season. And I notice online that people are really struggling to find, like, how do I react to this? And am I overreacting? Is what's the problem? Or there's obviously a problem and this team sucks. When's the appropriate time to have like big reactions? If you think about the Cavaliers and the expectations on them, they were the team that's supposed to come out of the Eastern Conference. They're supposed to be easily the class of the Eastern Conference this year. And that's not how the season has started at all for them. Not to say they're terrible, but they certainly don't look like a team that's at all on the same page with each other. So at what point do you, because I feel myself starting to get frustrated by this, but then in my head I'm going, well, yeah, but they were 15-1 to start last year, and they got bounced in the second round of the playoffs. So I don't know that I really care where they're at game 23, as long as in in April and May and June they're playing their best basketball. So what's the appropriate course of action here?
I think probably like somewhere in like the 30 to 40% way through the season, like somewhere in January. I think that's where it's like, okay, there's a panic button that we need to hit, because then you're like jockeying for seeding at that point. You're heading into the All-Star break in February. I don't think there's any need to panic at this point in the season. Obviously, I wish they were playing way better, but it's just it's a little early, I feel.
Chad has to clear his throat before he gives a very long, thoughtful response.
No time to panic.
It's not time.
No, I don't know. I just had to finish the joke there.
Fair. It's a fair point.
Yeah, it's a long season, man. I mean, I wouldn't start to get crazy overreactive until probably around like maybe even halfway, 30 to 40 games in. Because anybody who has the expectation to win, what was it? How many games did they win last year? 66?
64.
64, right? You're not going to have that type of season every year. No matter how good or bad you were or you are, right? No matter the roster that you have. Yeah, I mean, on paper, obviously, this Cavs roster is much better than it was last year. But sometimes it's these seasons happen, right? These seasons happen where guys are just trying to figure it out, where teams are just trying to figure it out, and the Cavs are doing that right now. And any overreaction right now to me is the act of being spoiled from 64 wins last year, because you can't expect that type of output year in and year out. Yes, I mean the Cavs we're the team that's supposed to come out of the Eastern Conference, and they still can be, right? They still have all the talent in the world to be able to come out of the Eastern Conference, but you got some new pieces. I mean, you're still trying to figure it out. Nothing's going to gel all the way. You're dealing with a lot of injuries, right? I mean, obviously load management.
Ton of injuries.
Obviously, load management has been happening since the start of the year. So yeah, I mean, I get why they do that. I don't agree with it. I get why they do it, but it's tough to build chemistry that way. So it's a tough go. But yeah, I would say if halfway in that they're still like this. If they're like hovering around 500, a couple games above or below 500, then yeah, crazy overreactions.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think it might be different if they were 5-18, and you're going, holy shit! Like, yeah, they're losing to everybody, but they're 13-10, and then I got to remind myself, the Indiana Pacers went to Game 7 of the NBA Finals last year, right? And I think very likely they win that Game 7 if Tyrese Halliburton doesn't blow his Achilles 8 minutes into that game. Do you remember the start for that game for Tyrese Halliburton? He had I don't remember how many points he had in the first 4 minutes of the game, but he had 12 points in 4 minutes.
Yeah, he was nuts.
Untouchable that entire series.
Yeah. And then I think, in the regular season, the Indiana Pacers won 50 games. They were 50 and 32. That was their record. So that, I've started to see it tonight as I was looking during the game. The Cavs have lost to the Trailblazers at home. That's gross. That's a terrible loss.
Right.
But I'm starting to see it now. The Cavs need to shake up this roster. They need a major overhaul. This isn't where, and I'm like, I don't think that's what needs to happen here. I think they just need to figure out health, right? When they're playing this poorly, when Max Strus is in the lineup and Jared Allen is healthy and Sam Merrill's healthy and you've got and Darius Garland's 100% and you got everybody completely healthy and then they're playing poorly, okay, that might be a little sign to panic for me. But like, I'm not doing it now. I don't want a roster shakeup. I don't know what good's going to come of that. I don't think they need to do a whole bunch of stuff. They need guys to step up. Lonzo Ball needs to step up.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hunter needs to step up. I think Evan Mobley's been very good. I think Donovan Mitchell's been one of the best players in the NBA so far this year. Darius Garland looks good when he's healthy and playing. Some of the young guys got to step up. That's what happened the other night when they won against Indiana. In Indiana, the young guys, man, played so well. Naquan Tomlin and Tyson and Proctor, and they were great. They just need guys to step up. That, to me, when I watch last year's team to this year's team, I don't see the same flow offensively. And I think Drew makes a great point in the comments. They can't find a consistent starting lineup. Well, it's hard to play consistent basketball when you're trotting different players out there every night because of injuries. But also, like, they've got to figure out life without, like, Ty Jerome got mentioned in the comments. Like, remember what a spark plug that dude was for them last year, though.
Yeah, for sure.
And don't give me they should have kept him then. They couldn't. He played himself into a contract that they couldn't sign him to. So it wasn't like a choice. They wanted to get rid of Ty Jerome. But man, what a spark plug he was. You could take Donovan Mitchell out of the game and you didn't have to worry about it. And this year, it's not the same. Lonzo Ball is struggling to put the ball in the basket. And I think he's doing okay on the playmaking side. I don't think he's been great, though. Dean Wade continues. I don't know how long we're giving Dean Wade a pass to be a guy that plays 25 minutes in a game and scores 3 points. Like, I know he does a lot of things for the team, and he does, but, like, you have to be a contributor offensively. Like, you have to.
Yeah.
But, like, let's give this team time to, like, get it together, because I actually don't mind that they're struggling early in the season. And I think there's an opportunity for them to light a fire in this season to be like, look, if we don't play really well, this is what's going to happen to us. And you don't get that fire in a 64-win season. You don't. You're cruising. And so I don't mind the start. I would love them to be 7 games better than they are right now, but get me to April and start playing your best basketball, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can tread water, right? I mean, with all these injuries especially, and the new personnel that you're trying to figure it out, as long as you can tread water while you're doing that, kind of like how Indiana was doing last year at the beginning of the season. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. I mean, look, the Cavs are too talented to not be in the mix here at the end of the season. So it's going to happen. Yes, they might not be the 1 seed. Okay, fine, whatever. But if they're a team that can get it together middle to the end of the season, like you said, playing their best basketball by April, maybe they can get good on the road, right? Which is so important in the playoffs.
Yep.
There's other factors at play that can still make them have a successful season. It's just going to take, it's evident here at the beginning of the season. It's just going to take a little bit more time than it did last year.
Well, Joe, I think you're wearing the appropriate shirt for this conversation, because I think we needed to learn from that team, that jersey that you're wearing, the Cleveland Guardians.
Yep.
They were miserable at points for the year. Miserable. And then they go on a historic run, aided by a historic collapse by Detroit.
Yeah.
And they wind up winning the division. So, like, 82 games is a long time, and there's plenty of
I
time.
wouldn't bank on the equivalent of an August September tear that the Guardians went on, but like you got to before the All-Star break, you got to at least figure some things out, and then you got to build on it the rest of the season, and then you have to get hot at the end of the season. Like that is just a non-negotiable for going deep in the playoffs. But they by January, mid-January, they have to figure it out.
Just a couple interesting NBA notes. Kind of bombshell stuff happening today in the NBA. Turns out Giannis doesn't want to work things out with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done.
And it turns out he wants to be traded for the Milwaukee Bucks. And I know everybody in Cleveland's like, whatever you got to do to get him. They can't. They can't get him. They are a second apron tax team. They can't trade for him. So unless they were like just started cutting people, which they're not going to do, please do not start with Giannis to Cleveland. It's weird how things work out, right? All that news goes crazy today about Giannis wanting to be traded, and then he suffers a non-contact injury in the game tonight. And that could be the latest. I don't know what it was, but that could be the latest in this this streak of these major non-contact injuries. So we'll see what happens with him. I do think one thing, boys, that's interesting. And man, oh man, I think there's some organizations in all sports that just always find a way to do shitty things. So it's Chris Paul's farewell tour season, right? And Chris Paul is going to be a Hall of Famer. And he wants to retire as a member of the LA Clippers. Right? And the Clippers just cut him. Just, you're gone. And that's a wild thing to do to a guy, his last season in the NBA. But I do think maybe an interesting Cavs dynamic there because, especially with the rash of injuries that they just consistently seem to face, I wouldn't mind taking a little flyer on a couple months worth of Chris Paul off the bench, and that kind of like leadership and playmaking and intelligence in basketball playmaking for the Cavs. Like that would not bother me in the slightest.
Yeah, that's weird, by the way. Like what happened? Like said he's a negative presence, but like then you see him, he's laughing with all these former Clipper teammates on like a Zoom call or something, and Chris Paul trying to talk to Ty Lue, but Ty Lue's like, nope, I ain't talking to you, and like that's a weird situation there. I mean, Chris Paul has never been short of dramatics himself. I mean, NBA players in general, I think, are probably the most dramatic athletes in all professional sports. So I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of truth to the dramatic aspect of it, but Ty Lue saying up, again, negative presence and like that was a weird situation, but sure, why not? Every little bit's going to help, right? If we're just this second apron team, what I mean, it's what two more years before we really got to start thinking about taking our teams, tearing this team apart or doing whatever with this team. So yeah, get all you can now. Get all the pieces you can now to try to get us a title before we have to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought that was an interesting way to start because we've got this kind of loaded up Cavaliers basketball team here in Cleveland, and they're sputtering to start, and it just had me. I wanted to get like the temperature of what you guys feel too. Like, when do you start to panic? And I think it's way too early. I think if you're panicking about the Cavaliers after game 23, you're early. You're early on the panics. I think it sounds like our special guest should be here any moment, so we're going to change direction. But why don't we get this out of the way here? Why don't we do our asshole of the week here while we wait for him to come on? And then we'll see where we're at when our guest gets here, but we'll just kind of get into the next topic. So if you're not familiar with the show, asshole of the week, somebody's been an asshole this week. Just maybe they did something stupid. Maybe it's a group of people that are being assholes, but just somebody that needs to get called out. And that's what asshole of the week is about. And I'll lead us off on this one. And this another recent thing, because I never even think about this until like the day we're doing it. But, and he's probably been the asshole of the week on this show before. My asshole of the week is Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, he's been there.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Did you see what he said?
Yeah. Yep. Sure did.
If you missed what Odell Beckham Jr. said on some podcast, I don't remember what podcast he was on, but he was on.
So it's Ryan Clark, wasn't it?
Oh, it was the Ryan Clark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham Jr. goes on and says something to the effect of, if you make $100 million in 5 years, you're only bringing home like 60 because they're taxing the hell out of us. And it's hard. It's hard to stretch that. It's hard to. You can't live your life on $60 million.
Yeah, it's hard out here for a
NFL
player.
You know what he said too? Because he was like, yeah, you get the money and you're spending and buying houses for the parents and buying cars. And Ryan Clark's like saving, investing, and he's like, yeah, just trying to stretch it.
Yeah,
right. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Odell, brother, like, dude.
Saving and investing in 7 different cars and 4 houses. And
you give me $60 million over the course of 5 years, and I'm set for life. My kids are set for life. My grandkids are set for life. Like, what are we talking about here? And it shows you a dramatic disconnect. And it also shows you why there are so many pro athletes that are adamant, and they do this after they are pro athletes, on trying to help other pro athletes be smart about their money, right? Because there should never be a point where that's a difficult thing to deal with. So OBJ is going to get mine for that, because that's a crazy thing to say.
That's such a crazy thing. Like, I've never been one to like, not at all. Like, you go get your money, guys. Like, get as rich as you can. But like, and I've never been like, NFL players shouldn't be paid so much money. Professional baseball players shouldn't be paid this much money. They're not worth it. Blah 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 blah. But on the other side of that, Odell, don't pretend like your problems are the same as mine.
Spoiler alert. We're all getting taxed.
Yeah.
We're all getting taxed on our income.
Financial problems are the same. Don't do that.
It's
not even close.
Don't come to me and complain that $100 million wasn't enough. That's a wild thing to say. It's wild.
Yeah.
Real quickly, boys, let's go through the other two, because I think our special guest is setting up here. Chad, who's your asshole of the week?
We're going to get into it in a minute, but mine's fucking the team up north, dude. You look like real assholes standing on the M after the game.
That was so good.
And just staring at Ohio State, celebrating with their fans. Like, oh, no. You're not going to do what we did to you last year. Nope, you're not going to do that. We're protecting the M. It's something we've been stepping on the entire game. That
camera shot of the Buckeyes players with all the fans, and the Michigan players all huddled up on the M like they're tough, and the Buckeyes players just in the stands like, we don't give a shit. Like, yeah, we just whooped your ass. Like, yeah, hell yeah. That's one of the great camera shots of all time.
Yeah.
All time.
Amazing. But yeah, you look like real assholes doing that. Team up north.
It also means that you had a conversation about, when you get your ass kicked, this is what we're going to do. And that's hilarious too. That's hilarious.
That's the thing, is they were standing on the sidelines like, guys, we got to go step on the M. We got to huddle up on the M after the game.
Joe, we're going to get to yours. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we're going to get to yours in a bit, but our special guest is here, and
related.
He's in a tropical location, and we don't want to keep him away from any kind of fun for the remainder of this evening. So we want to get him in here as quick as possible. This guy, a Buckeye legendary running back, had to fill some pretty big shoes and left some pretty big footprints of his own at Ohio State. He was an Ohio State MVP and played through some really interesting years. And I think literally one of the best guys we could get to talk on the situation that Ohio State faced this last weekend. We're going to bring him in right now. Former Ohio State running back, Jonathan Wells. Jonathan, welcome inside the garage.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me good, man? It's a little noise out here. We good?
Yeah, you're all good, man. You sound great.
Okay, great. Thank you. How y'all doing?
Excellent, man.
We're colder than you, Jonathan. We're colder than you.
Yeah, it's about 85 over here. I'm sweating. By 88, I'm sweating right now. Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm so jealous.
What's happening in the Dominican? Just a vacation?
My friend is having his 50th. We have about 30 people flying in, so it's about to go crazy.
Oh man.
I'm glad we caught you. I'm glad we caught you before.
I just took a shot. That's why I'm sweating, but don't mind me. I'm good.
There you go.
What's the shot of choice?
I'm a tequila guy these days. Any kind of white tequila, I'm good with it.
A little Blanco. All right.
Blanco. There we go. Blanco, baby.
Well, Jonathan, man, again, Chad, you've been talking to him, and he let us know that you were potentially available. And all I could think about was, I don't know that there's a better person to talk about the current Buckeyes with, because in your situation, in your tenure with the Buckeyes, you played for 4 years. You played in the John Cooper years, and that era started to feel a little bit similar without the national championship, but started to feel a little bit similar to the more recent era of Ohio State Buckeyes football of, man, really awesome football teams that just really struggled to get over that Michigan hump.
Yep.
And so just kind of talk about when you're on the Ohio State Buckeyes, no matter how good you are, how much does it get at you if you can't get that Michigan win? Even if you take the team from last year that goes on to win the national championship, but they didn't get that Michigan win, how much does that get at you?
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie like it doesn't hurt to lose to Michigan, because it does. You know, all I've been trying to explain to the fan base is that it's not 1995 anymore. Michigan does not have that kind of power to control and ruin our seasons anymore. So I don't give them goofies no power. Like we're giving them power. If besides the ring that they cheated for, there's nothing to talk about Michigan football for. Like, let's be real. So, like, they're bandwagoning on what we've been doing for the last 25 years. And quite honestly, I'm sick of it. So I'm glad we finally popped them. But yeah, man, you know, it was long overdue. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, what was? I'm curious. I mean, obviously, a lot was made with John Cooper. Obviously, the John Cooper era with Michigan. What was Coop like during Michigan week? Did his demeanor change? Did everything? What was a week of preparation like for Michigan under Cooper?
You want me to be honest? Like,
well, yeah.
I literally don't. I don't have any memories of like Coach Coop coaching. Like, I don't have any of those memories.
Okay.
Most of my memories are Coach Spencer. He was the more vocal guy. Coach Coop was really like an NFL coach. I didn't really see Coach Coop until I got in trouble or something. Like, other than that, there really wasn't much mentorship there. It was totally different from when Coach Tressel came in. I can definitely say that. But Coach Coop is great. I love him forever. But I don't have any stories like that.
How big do you think? Listen, Ryan Day's a national champion winning coach now, and we said this last week, and I think he showed it this past weekend. I think he's different now. I think he looks different. I said he looks like when I see him on the sideline, he looks like a killer, man. He's got a different look in his eye now that he got that national title and all that. Having said that, how big do you think this was for him? Because, again, they were starting to draw comparisons between Ryan Day and John Cooper. John Cooper, you guys had
thing
some.
I've ever heard. Dumbest
But
thing
you guys,
no, that's not
you
even.
guys had some monster teams. You guys had some monster teams.
They did. Well, I had one monster team. I played on the 98 team, which was really good. And 99, we fell off the wagon. We went 6-6. Then we came back and went 8-3, and then 7-5 with Coach Tressel our first year. So I didn't live in those glory years except for 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So we were kind of the ones that it was starting to go downhill. So when they brought Tress in, man, it really saved our program, because we were definitely spiraling the wrong direction. And I can say that because I was a part of that problem.
Do you think that was cultural? Because when you look at the guys you played with, right, David Boston and like just this unbelievable group of guys that were on that team with you. I think Andy Katzenmoyer, you were teammates with Andy. He's been on the show with us. Was it a cultural issue that was causing a spiral? Because there was a ton of talent.
Yeah, I think what happened was, now that I'm doing a lot of reflecting on my career these days, I think what happened was they started to recruit a lot of guys from the South, And I don't think they really understood how to handle us and how to, you know what I'm saying, how to really like mentor us the right way, because we're a different breed coming from the South. So you start bringing in all these different guys from the South, and Coach Tress was able to come in and get everybody back on point. Like it didn't matter Coach Tress brought it. That's why I love Tress, man. Coach Tress brought this thing back to the forefront of where Ohio State should have been the whole time. But it was definitely. It was difficult, man. It was a difficult transition between going from Coop to Tress, but it worked out well for the program.
Do you have a?
I was going to say, hold on, Chad. I know you're itching, and I don't want to cut you off, but you just, Jonathan, you just transitioned into something that was one of the things I was going to ask you about, and it shows such a difference between the era you played in and now. You're the first Louisiana-born player to ever play for Ohio State.
Yes.
Nobody from Louisiana ever played for Ohio State before. And that era, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago, especially to guys like our age, but it was so different. Now recruiting is national, and you're getting guys from Florida and California. You know, Julian Salen's a California kid, and all over the country, these guys come to play for Ohio State, but it wasn't like that back then. It had to have been a little bit weird to see guys from Ohio State coming down and recruiting you and being like, man, I guess I'm going to move all the way across the country as a kid to go do that. Like, what was that process like for you?
I will be honest, man. When I saw Eddie George play against Notre Dame, because I was a Notre Dame guy before Ohio State, my childhood. When I saw Eddie George rush for 202 yards against Notre Dame, I pretty much said I'm going to Ohio State that day. And they had not recruited me yet. They had not done anything, because obviously back then we couldn't get letters until we were juniors back then. So they had not even recruited me or anything. So this was 94, 95 when I fell in love with Eddie George, Terry Glenn, Orlando Pace. I'm like, man, I'm going there. So my decision was pretty much made from my sophomore year on. I pretty much never wavered until maybe like 2 weeks before signing day. North Carolina had a little, thing in there. But other than that, man, I was a Buckeye pretty much from my sophomore year all the way till. So it wasn't really a decision for me. I knew where I was going.
Now, okay, you talked about how just a world of difference it was from Coop to Tressel, and then you said Tressel was more of a mentor. Is there some sort of story that sticks out about Tressel coming in that you can share?
Absolutely. Coach Tress is actually the first coach to actually tell me that I wasn't good enough to play for him. So his first day at Ohio State, he said, so you're supposed to be the starting running back? He said, all right, meet me in my office tomorrow morning. We're going to watch every run from your junior year. And my junior year, I came into that. I wasn't in a zone. It had a bad offseason coming into my junior year. I just wasn't Jonathan Wells. So for that first couple of games, I wasn't playing like myself. And when we was watching that film, he really looked at me and said, damn, man, maybe I should have brought my running back from Youngstown State up here. What we doing? Yeah. So I laughed. I took it on the chin. I said, that's what's up. But see, when we start getting into the middle of that junior year and the end of that junior year, he's like, oh, okay, this is the guy I'm looking for. But he literally sat me down and watched every run from my junior year, one-on-one. Coach Coop had never did anything like that, ever.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think that says as much about you as it does Tress, too, because you looked at that and went, all right, you're going to challenge me like this? Stepping up.
I took it on the chin because I knew he was right, because that wasn't the Jonathan Wells that I should have been. And then my junior year really cost me in the draft. If I would have had 1,000 yards my junior year and my senior year, I'd definitely go second, first round. But because I didn't have a good junior year, that cost me the next year, I believe.
Yeah, I saw. I think you posted it, and I think it might be like your pinned tweet, to be honest with you, on your Twitter page. It's a text between you and Jim Tressel.
Yeah,
and I think it was after a Michigan game that Ohio State had won. I think it's before this little stretch. But I think it's him. It's him, and he probably said it to a couple of you guys that it's him saying that you guys set the foundation.
Yeah, because I woke up after the Michigan game and I see a text like, "See, look what you started, J-Dub." I was like, "Wow." Yeah. So that was personal to me for sure.
That win had to feel like 1,000-pound weight off your shoulder.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Because remember, we should have beat him in '99 up there.
Yeah.
I had the 76-yard run. I got caught.
Yes.
If I score there, we go up by 14, and they don't come back to beat us then. So I had to carry that loss for the next 2 years. even though I don't feel like I was the reason we lost. I think I would have helped, obviously, but other positions, a lot of people just didn't carry weight. Let's put it that way. But anyway, I had to carry that for 2 years. So when I went back up there, man, I really had it on my mind. Like, we are not coming out of here. I don't care who's starting that quarterback, first start, second. I didn't care. Like, I literally was like not coming back from up there. And thank God my defense was lights out. 5 turnovers was crazy that day.
Yeah.
And the offensive line was stout as well. And Craig Krenzel, he didn't turn the football over, and that's why I love him. If you don't turn the football over, we could have been beating them in the 90s. They always beat us because we turned the football over.
Ooh.
That 98 team, Sugar Bowl, you guys, you took out my alma mater. You took out the Aggies in the Sugar Bowl. Let's say the playoffs existed back then. Because, again, back in your day, I might be a little bit salty if I was you. Or guys that played in your era. One loss just ends your season. Just boom, done. You can't come back from it.
Yeah.
Do you guys, if there's a playoff that year, do you guys give Peyton Manning a run for his money?
You want the honest answer?
Yeah.
I don't know. We sucked against the SEC back then. Until Urban Meyer showed up here, we pretty much sucked against the SEC. I'm gonna keep it real. So,
oh my God, was that the Lou Holtz? You were in the Outback Bowl, weren't you? With Lou, wasn't that Lou Holtz coaching South Carolina?
Twice,
no,
back to back.
Oh, here he comes.
Exactly.
Here he comes. Wait a minute, Lou's gonna make an appearance.
Yeah, I'll tell you that, Jonathan. You was just such a tough football team with Steve Belisari at quarterback there, but the left-hander there. But you were a stud running back for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and you were a tough football team back. You're not so tough now, but
come on, Lou, let's go. That's what's
all
up.
right. So, last question, kind of about your time. And then I want to just jump in for a little bit on this year's Buckeyes. But you wrap up your career in 2001, and you're that last group. You're Tressel's first year. I will never get the memory out of my brain of Tressel standing in front of the crowd when he got hired at a basketball game, talking about how you guys were going to beat Michigan. I'll never forget that forever. That set the tone.
Well, this is a genius. This is a genius of Jim Tressel. He didn't say we were going to beat Michigan. He said you're going to be proud of our young men on the field and off the field. And he's a wordsmith. He's the perfect wordsmith.
We all knew what he meant, though. We all knew what he meant.
Exactly.
He delivered. But a lot of your teammates that would go on to play the next year would go ahead and win the national championship the year after. And did you feel that when you left? You obviously went on. You're an original member of the Houston Texans. You were a part of the Texans' original draft class. But did you have a feeling that those guys, Craig Krenzel and Michael Jenkins and our buddy Dustin Fox here and C. Grant and all those guys, did you have a feeling that they had what it took that next year to make a run like that?
I did. I knew it was something special. I mean, we could have easily been 10-1 that year. We lost like 5 games by a total of 13 points. So, like, we were literally we were up 17-0 against Wisconsin. We lost. We were up 27-9 against Penn State. We lost. And another game, somebody came back and beat us, man. So, like, we were right there. But our defense was younger. We turned the ball over so much my senior year. My God, I can't. Bro, like, y'all have no idea. But anyway, like, so I knew that they had something special. And then Claret just came in and pretty much replaced the production that I gave him a year before. But the defense was so much better. The defense closed games out in 2002, and we had some slippage in 01, which is normal for a first-year coach. But I knew that we were right there from being 10-1 in Jim Tressel's first year.
Real quick, as a kid that grew up in Louisiana, played Louisiana, you're used to sweating the way you sweat growing up in Louisiana. Practicing doing 2-a-days, three-a-days in the summer in Louisiana. You're used to it. Your first cold weather game in Ohio, were you regretting it a little bit? Were you like, oh no?
Absolutely not. When I came back home from the bowl game, from the Sugar Bowl, all of the guys from the South, we took our shirts off. We ran out the dorm room. We played throw-up tackle in the snow. Like,
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Like, this is literally my first time seeing snow. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
was excited. And if I was scared of the cold, I never would have came to the Buckeyes. You know what I'm saying? So I was looking forward to playing in the snow, playing in the cold. I like that type of weather.
All right, let's go to this here. I want to talk about the game. My first question is, and because I have a favorite part of this too, I want to ask you guys, what was your favorite part about the game this past Saturday?
My favorite part about the game this Saturday, honestly, was the focus of the team.
Yes.
They didn't get into none of that extra. Because if you watch what I was saying before the game, if I was to talk to the team, I would have told them, man, no extracurricular activity. All of that extra energy, all that extra yapping. Man, put that shit into making plays, man. We don't got time for all that talking. You know what I'm saying? So to see them, and the biggest thing that stood out to me was when Ryan Day came out that tunnel and he had Roy Hall on his right shoulder.
There we go.
And I said something. I said, man, that's a huge move by you, Ryan Day, because guess what? Roy Hall don't know what it feel like to lose to Michigan. You need somebody that understand what it's like to go up to Michigan and win next to you. And he made that switch, and obviously it made a big difference because they handled nothing but business Saturday.
My favorite part of that game, my favorite single instance of that game, third quarter. I believe it was the third quarter. 2nd and 5. Michigan gets a holding call on them. Ryan Day declines it and said, "You're not getting 5 yards." I wanted to run through this fucking wall, Jonathan. I was like, oh,
listen, back to what y'all was saying about Ryan Day, though. Yes, he's definitely, since he's won the championship, you got to think. I mean, all the Michigan pressure is cool, but man, once you win a national championship as a coach, there is nothing left to do. Like, what pressure are you going to have? It is what it is. Like you said, this whole year, his demeanor, his temperament with the guys on the sideline, everything has been A1. Last couple of years, he was cussing people out. And it felt like he was trying to be Urban Meyer to me.
Right.
And I'm like, that's not your style, Ryan, bro. Just do you. You don't have to try to be like Urban. And it worked out for him, man. Right now, he's by far the best coach in college football. I love what he's doing with the program.
I was going to say, I love that you brought that up, Jonathan, because I've said it forever. My least favorite moment of the Ryan Day tenure was when he yelled at Lou Holtz after they beat Notre Dame in that last second victory. And he got on TV and he was like, "What do you think of that now, Lou Holtz?" or whatever he said. And I was like, man, why are we yelling at Lou Holtz?
I'm just sitting right here. I'm just sitting right here in my rocking chair. I ain't going anywhere, Ryan.
But I was like, you're focused on the wrong stuff. Like, what are we focused on Lou Holtz for? Who gives a shit what Lou Holtz says? Yeah. And now I don't think you would ever see that out of Ryan Day now. There's just a different look. I will say I love that, Chad. That was one of my favorite moments. My favorite situation in this Michigan game is that Ohio State beat them any way they wanted to. And it's been a frustration that the last few years it feels like they felt like they needed to out Michigan. And Michigan wanted to dirty up the game, and Ohio State was like, well, we'll dirty it up even more. And they were losing. And they weren't taking advantage of where they had advantage. And this year, you saw the long passes to Jeremiah Smith and to Carnell Tate. But Bo Jackson went ballistic in that game. They punished them they punished them on the ground. They punished them through the air. That defense is unbelievable. Matt Patricia, man, that dude can coach a defense. And the fact that they just beat them up however they wanted to, that's my favorite part of the game.
Yeah, did anything they wanted to do after that first drive, after those first two drives. I agree. Just like the offensive, and listen, we got to get an offensive line prop. The offensive line was incredible. That is the best game I've seen an offensive line for Ohio State play in a long time. I'm talking about they were winning all the one-on-one battles. They moved the ball on the ground. I mean, the offensive line I told the running backs on my live, y'all need to get them boys to go to steak dinner. The whole offensive line, the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, y'all take them boys out and let them go do their thing at a steakhouse because that was impressive by the O-line.
That was going to be my next point, right? Is that was the unexpected part for me in this game, right? You know, it was supposed to snow. This was going to be like being right in Michigan's wheelhouse, but you became the bully. that offensive line became the bully this year. Something that Michigan's done to you for the last 4 years, but you became the bully this year. And Bo Jackson had 144 yards that resulted in. You became the bully. Oh my God, it was awesome.
But the beautiful thing about it is, and I've been talking about running backs, just getting touches over the season and getting into a little bit of a rhythm. And they was able to get born to a nice rhythm. But I will say, for him to come out and rush for 100 yards against that defense, very, very impressive. So shout out to him, shout out to the offensive line, and shout out to the coaches for letting them run that thing. But the game plan was flawless, man. We did what we wanted to do when we wanted to do it, and we out-physicaled them, and that's what we've been waiting to see for 4 years.
Should Julian Sain win the Heisman?
Absolutely. It's not a question.
Yes.
Who else? Who else?
Yep.
But who else?
They're punishing him because he's got talent around him.
Yeah. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life.
Right?
This kid is amazing.
Bro, if this man doesn't win the Heisman, especially if he come out here and spank Indiana this week too, because that's the guy who's supposed to win it, right?
Yeah.
So once we come out here and shut him down, and then Julian do him, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking like not even ice water. People say ice water in his veins. Like that dude has like Alaskan glacier water running through his veins. Like the way he flushed that interception out, like you wouldn't even thought he threw a pick. The way he went about his business the rest of that game.
Let me say it live. I was skeptical of Julian before the season because I wasn't impressed with his size, and I don't like short quarterbacks. I just don't like them. But this kid is different. He has a Drew Brees type of situation that he has going on. And like I said, you're talking about a redshirt freshman. Imagine what he's going to be next year after another offseason, another spring football. Like the dude is going to, it can only go up here, barring injury. You know what I'm saying, from here. So great shout out to Julian, man. I'm amazing.
He's still going to be throwing to Jeremiah Smith.
And he's going to be throwing to Jeremiah Smith again. Right.
You said this, and I heard this. I think it was one of the guys from the Big Noon Kickoff talked about this. But I want to go back to this real quick because it's such a good example. And this is the story that gave me goosebumps from this game. I think it was one of the guys from Big Noon Kickoff. And he said after they got done wrapping up, he went up into the tunnel. And all of a sudden the doors opened and Michigan came out. And it was loud. And they were screaming and yelling and saying all kinds of wild shit. And they were all like, they were just making them. It was loud. And all of a sudden, the Ohio State locker room doors open, and there wasn't a sound.
I saw it. That's what I'm telling you.
And they just walked out. Business.
The demeanor was crazy. Straight business mode. Straight business mode. I loved every second of it.
So let's talk real quick. A couple more questions before we let you get to this party down in the Dominican. But Jonathan, let's talk about this weekend. Big Ten championship game. Ohio State finally back. It's been a minute since Ryan Day and the boys have been in the Big Ten championship game. And they're going up against a guy that is quickly becoming one of my favorite guys to hate. And that's Curt Cignetti and the Indiana Hoosiers. And the only reason is I love Curt Cignetti, and I think he's a great coach. But, man, that guy talks about winning like he's ever won something, and he hasn't. Guy hasn't won anything. He wins games. He's never won anything.
Well, listen, you gotta fake it till you make it, my boy. You gotta fake it till you make it sometimes.
That's what he's doing.
He's trying to speak it into existence. That's all.
So what are your thoughts on this game? Indiana, Ohio State, obviously Mendoza is probably going to be one of them. If he's not the top pick in the NFL draft, he's going to be one of them. You've got this Indiana team that's a high-powered offense. I don't know that I'm real sold on their defense. Against the best defense in the country and one of the best offenses in the country. How are we feeling about this?
I feel like this is going to be our biggest challenge. We have not faced the offense with this much offensive firepower up until this point, in my personal opinion. Michigan did not have offensive firepower like that if we really want to talk about it. Like, they've been shut out in multiple games pretty much to where they could barely throw it, or they made plays late to get the win or whatever. But this team right here, they actually have a nice offensive firepower, and I think they're going to put up some points. But I think Ohio State comes out Big Ten champions. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything without offense on turf. And I think it may be a little bit more high scoring than some see. But I think the Buckeyes pull it out and we come back Big Ten champions and get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the first team that scores over 10 points against Ohio State this year. Wow. But it's not it's not going to be that much more, right? Like,
gotcha.
Yeah. But
Jonathan, when you see that defense, how much do you want to just throw the pads on real quick and be like, you know what? I'm gonna come run one more season. I'm gonna come run one more year.
Nah, them running days over. You know what I love to do right now? Watch the game and talk shit on my phone. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Really quick, last thing, just because I think the story is very cool. Being a part of the first draft of an expansion franchise, the Houston Texans. You were their first ever top running back. You were their first ever leading rusher for the Houston Texans. You were very famously a part of the David Carr years where, man, there were so many similar. We're based out of Cleveland here. So many similarities to the 99 Browns team where they just did not have an offensive line. Top quarterback, Tim Couch, David Carr, not much of an offensive line. And you guys had to fight through it. But just talk about like starting off a franchise and being what you were a 4th round draft pick, and you were a guy that they were like, yeah, we're gonna build around you. And just being part of that process.
I mean, it was amazing. Just being a part. You didn't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? The beautiful thing about it is the fans were just so happy to have football back in Houston. We were literally like, they loved us so much around the city. I mean, we didn't pay for food. We didn't pay for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was straight open bar, open season. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
as far as the love from the city, you couldn't match it anywhere. It was crazy. The team, I mean, we had 7 rookies starting on offense, 6 or 7 rookies starting on offense at one point once I started. So we were just very young. A lot of those guys that we say sucked, a lot of those guys went on from the offensive line. They went on to play 12, 13 years in the NFL. They didn't suck.
Yeah.
They were just new. You know what I'm saying? They just threw a bunch of young guys together, put us out there in the NFL and like, hey, go get it done. You know what I'm saying? So we had some bumps and bruises, but we won 4 games as an expansion team. We could have won 7 or 8. We were right there to win 7 or 8 games. And then we came back and we continued to get better. We went 4 games, 5 games, 7 games. And then my 4th year, we fell off the wagon. We won like 2 games my last year there.
So this leads into the next question, because a lot of us say this in Cleveland. A lot of us think Tim Couch was a pretty damn good quarterback, but there was no chance he was going to succeed. David Carr, I think, got sacked like 30 times more than the next quarterback on like the list.
Yeah.
So
79 times to be exact.
Do we feel a little bit about that way? I think you guys probably got fairly close. Again, backfield mates, all that. Do we feel a little bit that way about David Carr? Like, was he better than what he ever had a chance to be?
I don't know. All I know about David Carr is when we played him in the horseshoe, we picked him off 4 times. And Nate Clemens, Nate Clemens, Derrick Ross, and all my guys. I never throw my guys under the bus because I know how hard they work. But all my guys that played against him, nah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Did you let him hear about that every once in a while in the locker room?
Me and Dave, we didn't have a relationship. I never had his phone number. Like, you gotta remember, my personality is so huge. In a locker room, I'm gonna be the guy. I don't care what it's me.
Yeah.
When we're talking about going out in Houston, I'm gonna be the guy. It's me. I'm from New Orleans. This is what I do. So I was the heartbeat of that shit. Point blank, period. I don't care what they talking about. What I look like coming from Ohio State. What do I look like coming from Ohio State and looking up to a guy from Fresno State? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I stepped into that thing as I'm going to be the leader. I made the rules. You touch the ball as a running back or wide receiver, sprint all the way to the goal line and jog back. I was putting those rules in place because I've been doing that since high school. I know how to work. The Houston Texans just didn't understand what they had. And they tried to replace me 4, 5, 6 times. And I was the last man standing at the end of my career. I started my last 2 games. We won. I balled out, player of the game. They couldn't replace me. It is what it is.
I don't know about you two, Joe, Chad, but I'm going to leave this interview with Jonathan. All I want to do is hang out one time.
Yeah.
All I want to do is one night with Jonathan Wells.
Where y'all live at? What city y'all? Where y'all at? Y'all
We're
in Cleveland?
We're Cleveland boys.
I used to live in Aurora too, but I used to tell Hole in Cleveland back.
Let's go.
I used to live by the outlets.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
Yeah, right before I moved here in 21, I lived in Cleveland for 7 years. I did radio for the Browns from 2019 to 2020. Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, you ever in town again, dude? Let's go out.
I'm a Cleveland adopted me, baby. I'm an adopted Cleveland baby.
Hey, and once Cleveland adopts you, man, we never let you go.
You're
We
part
never
of
let
it.
you go.
You're part of it.
Hell yes.
Sir.
Hey, Jonathan Wells, this has been a blast. Real quick, last question for you before we let you out of here. We know the teams that are in contention for the playoff now.
Yeah.
And Ohio State's, barring something weird happening against Indiana, going to be the top seed.
Okay.
What team's the biggest threat?
Alabama. I'm never going to be comfortable playing Alabama. I'm never going to be playing. There's just certain teams I'm never going to be comfortable playing until we beat them. I'm never going to be comfortable playing Georgia. There's just some teams that can beat you. And college football, guys, we saw what happened to Oregon. It was hot. They won it, and then they took a week off, and they came back, got their head beat in. So I'm not going to put the cart in front of the horse. We got to focus on every play, every day, and figure it out as it comes. But we have a chance to win it, but we're not guaranteed to win a championship like everybody's talking about. Anybody can be beat. Y'all don't know that by now? I don't understand what these people in the media talking about. Anybody can be beat, especially when it comes to playoff time. So now we're going to go one at a time, man, and we'll figure it out.
All right, Jonathan, there's more tequila shots waiting for you. You sound like you got a fun bit of time in the Dominican ahead, man.
Let's go.
Hope you have a great time down there. Hope your friend has a good birthday. Because if you're involved, I'm sure it's going to be a good ass time.
Y'all
check my Facebook out. Y'all checked out the Facebook. We about to get it cracking out here. Y'all gonna see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out for sure.
All right, man. Go have a good time. Thank you for joining us, Jonathan Wells. We appreciate you, man. And as always, go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Appreciate y'all, fellas. Have a great night.
You too, man.
See ya. How about Jonathan Wells, man? That's all I want to do is
bringing the energy. Bringing the energy.
That's all I want to do is go hang out with that dude now.
Yeah.
50th birthday. That dude, it sounds like whoever's having a 50th birthday is about to have like a 25th birthday.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd survive a night.
Let's just say there's going to be some headaches in the morning, and that's just how it should be. That's just how it should be. No, big time shout out to Jonathan Wells, man. A really good Buckeyes player, a former NFL player, and what a nice dude, man. Just a great time taking his time out of his vacation down there to join us on Garage Beers. And I feel like they should have him in. Just a great time taking his time. What are we listening to over there?
Nothing.
All right.
Sorry.
There it was.
I'm bad.
Nah, but I feel like Ohio State should have him in the locker room every once in a while, just like talk to the kids.
You think?
All right, I got a little more college football I want to talk about, but Joe, we left you hanging with your asshole of the week, so why don't we go back to that real quick?
I should have spent that time thinking of a new one. Mine was the same as Chad's.
That's okay.
But some context to add to it, Michigan had a team meeting the night before the game. And this is how, just shitty Michigan is.
Shitty as fuck.
They had a team
Stupid
meeting
assholes
to say,
bunch of dicks.
If Ohio State wins, we guard
Stand
the
on the logo.
like a players only meeting. If Ohio State wins, we guard the M, which is just so it's just funny because I think there was a couple guys that maybe tried to at some point after they left the M at whatever.
They did.
But Day stopped it, but that was never the intention, and it's just such a freaking pro move, dude.
And I also think
they'd be like, we're not you.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I also think at the end of that's what I was thinking. That's why I saw those videos of some of the players trying to kind of come back at the end, and I was like, nah, no. And I'm so glad Ryan Day did what he did. No, we ain't doing this shit.
Yeah,
they did to us, and we're better than them.
Yeah,
and that
we're literally better than them. You showed on the floor.
Yes.
Brutus spent more time in the end zone than the entire team did. We're good,
boys. All-time great moment. That was an all-time great moment. That picture, and I said it's one of the great shots of the Ohio State players sitting up on the with the fans while Michigan are huddled around their stupid fucking M. But the real all-time great picture that comes from that game, I don't know how he got away with it. I don't know how somebody didn't stop him. But Brutus doing Script Ohio on the fucking field and then crossing out the M on the Michigan logo.
Legendary.
Holy shit. And those dudes that had to scramble and try to cross out the Ohio. That is an all-time moment, guys. It's an all-time moment.
Yeah,
That will go down in history for the rivalry. Go ahead, Chad. Sorry.
No. Seriously, and he was doing it for like 5 minutes. How nobody it took him so much time. They had so much time to go in there and just scribble it out as he was doing it, but no, they just let him do it.
He made multiple passes on the X. Like it wasn't just one X and done. Like he did it again.
Yeah,
it was great. All right, so just kind of moving on very quickly in college football before we move on, because we got one more topic to talk about. But you're right there, Chad.
Yeah, my light keeps flickering like on, and my influencer light keeps like
your
flickering
influencer
on
light
and
just
off.
turned off. It's off now. We just see your shiny
it
head.
keeps flickering off and on and off and on and off and on. I just unclipped it and just threw it away.
Oh, you see your shiny dome. All right,
move,
so obviously we've got good timing here on Garage Beers because it's Wednesday night, which means they came out with the college football playoff rankings last night, and we get to talk about it. The biggest shakeup, obviously, my boys lost. Texas A&M was third last week. They lose to Texas because they've got fucking little brother syndrome, and it pisses me off. But as of right now, this is how things are looking. Ohio State 1, Indiana 2. Pause. Here's the question I have, guys. Let's say Ohio State beats Indiana. And let's say they beat them by 14 to 17 points. How far do you drop Indiana?
I don't think
Indiana
they go past 5.
Are they still a top 4 team? If their only loss is a loss to Ohio State.
It depends on the loss. If it's a blowout, yeah, they're below 5. If it's 14 to 7 to 14 points, I think they remain top 4.
Yeah, I mean, as always, because I mean, unfortunately, style points matter in college football, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
if it's so it's the type of loss, right? Like Ohio State might win if Ohio State wins by 14, but they didn't win by 14 until they pulled away late, and it was close the whole time. I don't think Indiana drops below 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't think they should.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think they're fine. Barring a 56-3 blowout, I don't think Indiana gets out of the top 4.
I think 35-9. Just run back the Michigan game. That wasn't the exact score, but like run back that, they're below 5.
The only thing that still drives me crazy about this fucking committee that they have that does this is that nobody can get rid of recency bias. Like, we should be looking at, like, here's the thing. Let's say Ohio State beats Indiana by 10. There's going to be some people that think Oregon should jump up into the top 4. Like the game where Indiana went out to Eugene and beat Oregon by 100 doesn't matter. Or you've got listen, here's the thing. Notre Dame shouldn't be anywhere near these fucking rankings.
Right.
Well, true.
This is true. You have no argument to put Notre Dame into this game over Miami. Or into this playoff over Miami. You have no argument. Miami beat Notre Dame head-to-head. They're going to have the same record at the end of the year. There's no argument, except for the fact that Notre Dame lost to Miami and Texas A&M back-to-back, and then they ran through the rest of their weak-ass schedule because they had a weak-ass schedule. And now it's like, well, we got to put Notre Dame in. What? No, you don't. What? You just forgot that Miami took care of them early in the year?
Speaking of teams that have nothing to do or that shouldn't be anywhere near these rankings, Duke has a chance to do the funniest thing this weekend. Duke has a chance to do the greatest thing.
Let's get to that. So obviously the top 4, it's going to change. We just don't know how much. But I actually think, I'm going to be honest with you, and you know my allegiance to my Aggies, but I actually think this is the top 4 teams in the country. I mean, Texas Tech is having an unbelievable year. And Ohio State's the best team in the country. And Georgia, outside of that loss to Alabama, has been better all year. And Indiana, that's the top 4 teams in the country. That if there was a 4-team playoff, that's what it should look like. Right? Does anybody disagree with that?
Yeah, as of right now. But I mean, that all could also change. I mean, because Texas Tech still has to play BYU again and Georgia's playing Alabama again. So it could change all over.
If Georgia loses to Alabama for the second time, Alabama jumps Georgia. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
But I think as of right now, that's easily the top 4. So then you get into these other ones, and Alabama will slug Oklahoma. That's fine. Although
I don't know.
Didn't Oklahoma beat Alabama? Yes.
I don't think they played.
No, maybe they didn't play. I don't. Yeah, maybe not. Obviously, Texas A&M Notre Dame would be a rematch. I think Notre Dame's better than they were to start the year, but like they shouldn't be anywhere near this fucking playoff. But then we get to what you were talking about, Chad.
They did lose to Alabama to 23-21. They lost to Oklahoma 23-21.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. But then we get to what you were talking about. We get to the ACC.
Yeah.
And the reality is the ACC might get no teams because Duke is playing. First of all, the sentence that I'm about to say is wild as fuck.
Yeah.
Duke is playing Virginia for the ACC championship.
Right.
Blow up the fucking conference. Send it to fucking hell. It is gone. Duke versus Virginia for the football championship.
Well, that's the thing is like there were 6 tiebreakers that had to fall just right for Duke to get into that game, and they fell. Every single one of them fell into place, and now Duke is playing Virginia for the ACC championship.
But here's the scoop: if Virginia wins that game, they're going to be in the playoff.
Right.
If Duke wins that game, Duke will not be in the playoff.
No, you sure won't.
You're going to get 2 group of 5 teams.
Right.
You're going to get James Madison and Tulane, or I don't know who the 2 are going to be, but you're going to get 2 group of 5 teams in the playoff if Duke beats Virginia. And that is wild.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Because it's not Power 5 conference championships. It's the top ranked conference champions, and Duke will not be ranked higher than 2 conference champions.
Yeah.
From the group of 5.
Yeah.
So like that is of the things. So here's a couple things for me. Like personally, I'm not super mad that A&M lost because now they're just locked in, and they should have a home game. Like A&M with a 1-loss Texas A&M team should just have. We're gonna play a game at Kyle Field. And that's awesome. I'm super pumped for that. I don't even know how it's gonna go, but personally for me, I'm pumped for that. All I'm gonna do this weekend, I'm gonna root hard for Ohio State because man, I want Kurt Signetti to just fucking cry himself to sleep on Saturday night. But the only other thing I'm gonna care about is I am the biggest Duke fan on the planet when they play Virginia.
Because you just want it just to blow up the rankings to smithereens.
Hell yes.
You just want All right. I'll be your Huckleberry.
Let's go crazy.
Yeah, why not?
Let's go crazy. By the way, it was my asshole of the week last week. You'll see the 11-6 matchup is Ole Miss versus whoever that might be. Ole Miss is going to have to find a coach because what an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
I'm not surprised. It's Lane Kiffin doing Lane Kiffin things.
Here's my problem. There's been a lot of discussion on this. Lane Kiffin is leaving Ole Miss to go coach LSU. I have no problem with that.
No.
Not a single problem with it. LSU should be a premier coaching job. Ole Miss isn't at this point. It is what it is. I have no issue with him leaving and going and doing that. I don't. That is okay. But the fact that he was like this is what drives me fucking nuts about all this. The fact that he was like scolding reporters when they were asking about it. My focus is on Ole Miss. I don't know why you're asking me about that. And he's like yelling at people. Fuck you. We've all known you're going. Like that drives me so crazy when they get defensive in press conferences, even though everybody knows what they're going to do. And they like yell at everybody like we're stupid. Oh, Lane Kiffin is such a bitch.
I mean, but it's his MO though. Like, so nobody should be surprised at this, by the way. Nobody should be surprised. Lane Kiffin
is just bitch move.
Sure. Link it, but it's optics are everything in this type of business, dude. Optics are everything. You don't want to give away something until you absolutely have to. So obviously he's going to put up the front that he's going to stay at Ole Miss until he leaves for LSU. Obviously he's going to get my focus is here. My focus is here. But no, but really everybody knows he's leaving for LSU.
Listen, that's not the point. The point isn't like if he just came out and said, "Oh, my focus is on Ole Miss, and that's all I'm going to talk about." I'm going to be like, "Cool, that's fine." But the fact that he's like angry that like, how dare you ask me this, and I'm not even thinking about that right now. Shut up. So again,
just part of the game. It's part of
I
the
asked
game.
it. I asked it last week, and I'm going to go back to it this week, boys. You see, right now, you have to say the favorite for probably that 11 spot is Virginia. And then you're going to get one of the group of 5 teams in the 12 spot. This is how it sits today. Prediction time. Next week, when all is said and done, Chad. Who's still on this list of teams that are going to be playing for a national title and who's not?
Notre Dame might be out.
Well, so let's talk about the teams.
That's really the only one I see that's probably going to be out.
There's 2 teams that could be out, right? What are you going to say, Joe?
I think Alabama could be out.
Yes. If Alabama loses to Georgia, they're out.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You're not putting 3-loss Alabama in.
That's true.
That slots in probably Miami. Probably. And then that would bump up probably A&M to that Oklahoma game.
Yeah. Which I'll take that all day and then get smashed by Ohio State, but that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I agree. Listen, I think Miami should play in this game. I think they've 2 bad losses, but good wins too. I think Miami should play in this. Notre Dame, I just fucking hate the fact that it's just, hey, can we get Notre Dame in? Can we just get Notre Dame in? Hey, can we get them in? And their coach is one of my favorites. I love Marcus Freeman, but like, we shouldn't be trying to find ways to get them in. But I agree with you. I think Notre Dame is in jeopardy. Although I don't know, I think Alabama's in more jeopardy. I think the team on this list that is in the most trouble is Alabama.
Well, yeah, it's a must-win game on Saturday.
Yeah,
correct. And Notre Dame, they're not doing anything. I failed to believe that they're going to have somebody jump Notre Dame.
I don't know. I think an interesting scenario, right, could be that Texas Tech and BYU game, right? Because
BYU wins that game, Texas Tech's not going out of the playoffs,
and that's what I'm saying. Who are they going to kick out? What if Texas Tech loses that game? Yeah, I mean they're going to fall back at below 4. So who are they going to kick out?
Notre Dame.
Alabama or Notre Dame?
Yeah, right.
That's your only options.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Anyways. That is the scoop for college football. All right, boys. Just because we can't not hit on it for a minute. Let's jump over. What?
It's happening.
What?
He started practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck's sake! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
No, it's not a story, guys. It's not a story, guys. So let's jump over to the Browns real quick before we get out of here. The Browns were very competitive with the San Francisco 49ers. I think offensively, they didn't score points, and that's a problem. But I think they moved the ball pretty well. I think Quinshon Judkins looked great. I think Shedeur Sanders looked fine. Like, fine. He was fine. I think offensively, they looked okay. They just didn't convert things. You had the 4th down that they didn't get with Quinshon Judkins. You had the fumble on 4th and 1 because for some reason you're trying to hand off or you're trying to under center snap the ball to Harold Fannin, which I do not understand. But Like defensively, they were spectacular. But man, oh man, I don't think I've ever seen a team get sabotaged the way the Browns did in this one against the 49ers by themselves with the worst special teams performance I think I've ever seen. Giving up a 66-yard special teams punt return.
Again.
Gage Larvidan muffs a punt at the 14-yard line. Like, they do everything they can to, like, find ways to lose games.
Should have won that game. You had a chance to win that game.
Very much.
I mean, obviously your defense played ungodly again. A couple of cracks, but like really they handled the 49ers well. Christian McCaffrey, especially, they handled him, I thought, very well. Your offense had some bright spots in a tough weather day, but also you had like a couple rough throws from Shadur, but like you were in decent positions in that game.
They sustained drives.
But it's just, there's always something that is just god awful with this team. And this week it was special teams. It kind of bounces back and forth between the special teams and offense. But, man, special teams is something we don't talk about enough, but it's been horrific this year.
Well,
horrific.
We talked about this on my last show, and it's appropriate to bring up here. You talked about cracks on the offense. Not many. Or I'm sorry, on the defense. Not many. That drive they gave up at the end of the half that resulted in a field goal, that sucked. You just got eaten alive there. But otherwise, San Francisco had 3 touchdowns. The lengths of those drives were 14 yards, 18 yards, and 32 yards. You gave San Francisco the ball with a chance to score touchdowns on each of their 3 touchdown drives. Twice you gave them the ball in the red zone because Gage Larvidan can't catch a fucking punt, and because we decide on punt coverage we don't know how to cover a punt. So twice you gave San Francisco the ball inside the red zone. All they had to do was go less than 20 yards, and they scored. You can't ask your defense to be stopping that. And the longest touchdown drive was a 32-yard drive, and that was the one where they tried to go for 4th and 1, the under center snap to Harold Fannin. It got fumbled, and San Francisco recovered. Like, they're experts at fucking killing themselves.
Why isn't Isaiah Bond on kick and punt returns?
I think it should be Malachi Corley.
Sure, I guess.
He's been great.
Yeah.
That's a guy I would like to see around next year. But, like,
great name.
It's just so predictable with these guys. Chad, you're sitting there so quiet.
You guys just want to do mock drafts from like here on out for the rest of the season, depending on what they do in the rest of the games.
It's our only
Might
choice.
as well.
It's the only thing we have to care about.
It's the same game every week, guys. Like, I guess that's why I'm just sitting here quiet. Like, defense keeps us in games, and then the offense or special teams finds us ways to lose it. It's really what it is, right? The defense is the first half. The game's going to be close in the first half because the defense is going to keep us in it. Right. Offense has bright spots, absolutely. I mean, that was an absolute dot to Harold Fannin for the touchdown from Shadur, an absolute dot, right? And then Quinshon Judkins, obviously, there's something promising here. Promising there. I mean, obviously, he's shown all sorts of signs of being just a workhorse back for us in the coming years. Yep. After that, I mean, after that, I mean, Bubba Ventrone, I mean, there's no reason to fire him now because it's not going to solve their problems for the rest of the year. But I mean, it's been an ongoing issue, and I fully expect him to be gone after this year. So they're going to need to revamp their special teams unit. They're going to need to, I mean, although the offensive line played really well, what the fuck is going on with Wyatt Teller? Like, what is he injured? Is he not? Is he playing? Is he not? Like, it's like one of your best offensive linemen, probably the best offensive lineman you've had this year. There's just so much drama surrounding every little piece of this team, right? And none of it has anything to do with the defense, right? The defense just keeps trucking along and being dominant and playing the way that they're playing and keeping us in games, but it just little plays here and there just kill this team. And like you said, Mike, they're experts at doing it, and they're gonna do it, right? They're gonna find ways to do it. Now, fortunately, and I know I'm jumping the gun here, but fortunately, the Titans are that bad to where they can afford to make these plays, and they're probably going to make these mistakes, and they're probably going to win the game next week. But it's I'm watching the same exact game every single week with this team, and it's so tiring. I cannot wait for the season to be over with.
You know, I will say at least they're giving us things to. I'm excited to watch this game against the Titans, and it's not even about a win or a loss because who fucking cares at this point? But I'm just excited to see how many sacks Myles Garrett can get. That storyline has me hooked.
I agree.
Myles Garrett could break the sack record this week.
Yeah.
He needs to get 23. He's got 19. And you're going up against a rookie quarterback and a terrible offensive line. This is the same Tennessee Titans team that Myles Garrett famously did like the crossover, coming up straight up the middle,
right,
and getting a sack. I think it was against Ryan Tannehill. Like, they're going to struggle with Myles Garrett. So that has me interested. I'm so invested in what's going to happen with Carson Schlesinger the rest of this year. I think rookie of the year is automatic at this point for Carson Schlesinger. He's easily the best defensive rookie in the NFL. I think he's an all-pro. Like, I think he's getting that year one.
Yeah.
I think he's getting it year one. Like, that dude, he's a Pro Bowler. He should be a rookie of the year, Pro Bowler, all-pro year one.
Yeah.
The defense has given me reasons to I want to watch it. I want to see if I want to watch when Myles Garrett breaks the NFL sack record. And I hope he does it over the next 2 weeks, so he does it in less games than the like TJ Watt did it.
Michael Strahan.
Well, it's Strahan and Watt. They both TJ Watt tied the record.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, it's funny. Like, I watch the defense closely, right? Like, when the defense is on the field, I watch closely. I do laundry. Like, I do dishes when the offense is on the field and just glance over at the TV.
I might not even have enough time to get the water.
I'll tell you, like in this last week's games, this week's game, boys, I didn't think the offense was that bad. They sustained drives. They were picking up first downs. They were moving the ball. There were things, whether it was Shedeur missing throws, that throw he missed to Jerry Jeudy will haunt forever.
Haunting.
Because it was an easy touchdown. And he missed it.
To be fair, there's no guarantee Jeudy catches that ball.
It's fair. It's a fair.
But I'd rather put the blame on Jeudy, though, than Shedeur.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for sure.
I think people listen. I think it's a natural part of what's going on with this team. I will say this. You guys saw me a couple weeks ago get in, and we all did it. Got into major arguments with a Shedeur. I don't know what we're gonna call him, a Shedeur soldier or whatever. When we had Dave Gronczynski on the show, and he's out of his mind, and he's wrong on most of the stuff. But I also think the other side of it is true. People are way too hard on this kid. I'm seeing a lot of things where I'm like, I want to see more.
I have no notes on him from this game, like nothing negative. Like, it's his second start. I mean,
my only thing for him is, like, can you one time take a fucking 2-yard sack instead of a 12-yard sack?
Sure.
Can you one time climb the pocket instead of fade out of the pocket?
But what a perfect matchup this week. Like, this should be a good statistical game for Shedeur. It's just a shit Titans.
It should be.
Like, no side of the ball is good for the Titans. Like, this is a good test. Like, I think if he has a bad game against the Titans, you can be upset with it.
It's problematic.
It's problematic. But if he comes out and looks great, then it's a building block, and it's a different story, different conversation.
This is Oh, go ahead. I was going to say this is looking way too far ahead, but if there's a new regime in place next year, do they keep Shador even though they're not his guy? He's not their guy.
I don't know. No,
Yeah.
there's no reason to.
Right.
No.
Right.
There's no reason.
Trade him.
All right, last thing on the Browns, last thing on the NFL, and then we'll get out of here for this one. Obviously, the big news that everybody's freaking out about is that the Browns are activating the practice window for Deshaun Watson. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I want to say this because I want this podcast to be fun and funny and drunk sometimes, but I also want us to be a source of like fucking get your head right. This means nothing. It means nothing. There's a lot of reasons why the Browns would do this. And probably the biggest one is that there is a fucking union in the NFLPA that you got to watch out for. And you can't just keep a guy on the injured reserve if he's not injured, because they will come after you. And it doesn't matter who it is. This does not mean the Browns are trying to play Deshaun Watson. This does not mean, and I'm going to stand by this until they make me eat crow. This means nothing other than he was eligible to come off the injured reserve, and you can't just keep a guy on there just because you want to. So they're activating him. They're going to let him practice. They may never actually activate him for a game. I'd be shocked if they did. My thing is this. Barring an injury to Shedeur Sanders and barring an injury to Dylan Gabriel, I better not see Deshaun Watson out on that field one time over either one of those dudes. I would rather watch Dylan Gabriel throw checkdowns for the rest of my fucking life than watch Deshaun Watson take another step for the Cleveland Browns. And that I don't think he ever will. I don't think he ever will. But you can't, like, that. The thing that people are missing is that you can't just keep a dude on IR if he's not hurt. You can't. They will come for you for that.
Right.
So, like, just, I guess, like, just chill out. That's my point to everybody is chill out. I will be shocked if you ever see Deshaun Watson take another snap for the Cleveland Browns. But, like, they have to do this.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Well, I guess that was my rant that I was to go on. All right. So the Browns playing the Titans real quickly, boys. Score prediction: Browns Titans Sunday.
31-9 Browns.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say 27-9. I don't think they score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Although Chamiri Dike, is that his name?
Yeah.
He's
Pretty good.
He's the league leader in return yards. So, and the Browns special teams have
fucking
done
great. Fucking great.
The Browns special teams have been dog shit.
The offense will not score a touchdown.
31-16 Browns.
He's also the league leader in return yards because nobody has more returns, like kickoff returns, than the Titans.
Correct.
The other teams are constantly scoring touchdowns against them.
Sorry, 31-24 Browns because he's going to get 3 special teams.
47-34 Titans. And it's all kick return touchdowns.
Yeah.
The Browns should win this game. There's no, and this to me is the biggest game so far of could Shedeur Sanders be the guy that makes you want to give him another shot next year?
I want to see him ball out. Ball out.
If he does, it'll be a step.
He's going to look like it. I mean, the Titans are so bad that he's going to look like it. And
give me a guy that does that.
Sure. No, he will impress me more if he does well against the Bears, Bengals, and Bills. That's where it's, to me, that's where it's going to be. Okay, I want to give this guy a shot. Yeah. To me, like him looking good against the Titans is what he's supposed to do.
But it's got to start somewhere.
Sure.
And I don't think he's looked nearly as bad as some people will make you believe. I don't think he's been perfect. I think there's been missed opportunities, but I also think he's been pretty good. And now he's going to get a chance to. I hope they kind of unleash him, to be honest. Like, I'm okay if Kevin Stefanski wants to let him throw the ball 30 times in this game. Go for it. Like, unleash him a little bit and let's see what he can do. So, all right, boys. 10:45. We've had a very fun episode, but let's get out of here for episode 292. And we can't do that without doing our cheers of the week. So, Chad, why don't you lead us off? Cheer of the week. Who deserves a cheer before we get out of here?
I mean, I'm just going to cheer the Ohio State Buckeyes. I mean, it was such an incredible Saturday. Like nothing could ruin my weekend after that. Cheers to you, Buckeyes. Let's go.
That's a good one. That's a real solid one. Joe, what about you?
Don't sit here and tell me that basketball players are tough. Baseball players are tough. That football players are tough. Until you see this motherfucker, Kyle Palmieri. Do you guys know this story?
Yep.
Kyle Palmieri, right ringer for the New York Islanders, had a very awkward collision in the corner in the offensive zone where he tore his ACL. And this guy gets up after about 5 seconds or so, starts slowly skating back to the bench. The puck comes back in the zone. He picks it from the defense and creates an assist after he tore his ACL on his way to the bench to go to the locker room. Dude, like that is just some balls, kahunas on this guy. Like that is just like the coolest thing. I hope he has a speedy recovery, but that is just like the coolest thing. Like hockey's the best, man.
It's like it's a send off, yeah, for sure.
Hell
like
yeah.
I'll see you guys next year, but here's an assist.
Hell yeah.
But he wasn't
That's
on
awesome.
the ground. He was on the ice for like 5-10 seconds after tearing his ACL, and like
It's
that's
wild.
an incredibly painful injury. Anyone that's down for longer than that is definitely well within their right. But like, dude, the toughness of hockey players to just get up, get off the ice because they know they got to get somebody else over the boards. They weren't stop and play like that. I mean, man, just the tenacity is just unreal. So cheers to him.
Bam.
Bam.
All right, I got 2 cheers. First cheer. There are 14 teams left vying for state championships in Ohio high school football. And I am just going to give a cheers to all the fucking kids that play high school football in Ohio. Ohio is just, it never fails to amaze me at how good this shit is here. And everybody loves to talk about like Florida and Texas and California and all that. Ohio high school football is elite. And there are 14 teams left, 2 in every division. They're going to be competing for high school state championships this weekend. And I want to give a shout out to all of them because it's a pleasure. And Chad, you and I do games all year long.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking honor, to be honest with you.
Sure. Yeah.
It is an honor to watch these kids go out and fight and learn and grow, and to watch these coaches fight and learn and grow. It is an honor to watch it year in and year out. And so my cheers goes to them. And Chad, I'll miss you tomorrow.
I'm so fucking like upset.
I wish we would have thought about what we talked about earlier, but we didn't.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. But I will say, shameless plug. Up here in Northeast Ohio, Avon is going for its second straight. Joey's alma mater, going for its second straight state championship. They're going to be playing the Anderson Raptors from Cincinnati, the team they beat last year for the state championship. But watch out, because if you go back years, Anderson lost the regional semifinal. And then the next year they lost the regional final. And then the next year they lost the state semifinal. And then last year they lost the state final. But they always take that next step the next year. So it'll be a really interesting game. And I will be on the call. I'll be doing play-by-play. This is really fun, actually. I'll be doing play-by-play. And my color guy will be the Cavs play-by-play guy, Tim Alcorn will be there with me. Tom Evans will be there with me. We'll be down in Canton tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Avon, Anderson. But again, lots of big games going on, lots of Cleveland area teams, but just all over Ohio. Big shout out to the high school football players that made this season so
Thursday
special.
night?
Yeah. Division 2.
Huh.
Division
Right.
2 is Division 2, in my opinion, is the best division in high school football
Loaded.
in Ohio, and it kicks off the weekend. Division 2 goes Thursday night. Then there's 3 games Friday, 3 games Saturday, and all 7 divisions are crowning champions. Look out, because it's going to be a wild weekend from Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton. So tune in.
What are you divisions by? Is that school size still?
Yeah. Well, it's the amount of like boys
Right.
that they can draw
Okay.
from.
Yeah.
I said I had 2 cheers. My last cheer, Chad, I want you to join me on this one. Joey Whalen. Yesterday was his birthday. And so we got to give a shout out. We got to give a cheers to Joe Whalen.
Happy birthday, Joseph.
Thank you.
He's 30 something.
Doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter anymore. But big time shout out to you, Joe. Happy birthday, buddy. And look, I'm jealous of your meal that you went to last night.
Oh,
Your
had a little
dad
Din Tai Fung. Who's ever been at Din Tai Fung knows this place is.
Did you get a
elite
rub and tug there?
Taiwanese
What the
food.
fuck?
Mwah. Oh my gosh.
Your
I
dad
had-
had me rolling. You had like soup dumplings, and your dad was like, "Oh, look, Chinese pierogies." And I was like,
yeah.
and I go, what's the name of that restaurant? P.F. Changsky's?
A little better than P.F. Chang's. Yeah, we had dumplings, wontons, bao buns, tenderloin.
Yes.
Like it was just like
Bowel buns? Oh, Jesus.
bao buns. You ever had
Oh,
bao buns?
bao buns are the best.
No, I know I have.
So good.
So, anyways, we're hold on.
My God.
There it was. All right. So as a show, we're giving you a cheers for your birthday, buddy.
Nice.
And look,
Appreciate it.
Drew's gonna have one more bush tonight. One more bush heavy in your honor.
Joseph, happy
Get it,
birthday,
Drew.
Joseph.
All right, boys, let's get out of here. Let's do our thank yous and be out of here. First thank you goes out to the OBR for hosting us. The Orange and Brown Report is Cleveland's oldest and largest Browns independent coverage site. Get over to the OBR.com, hit subscribe to be a part of the biggest Browns community online in all of Cleveland. Make sure you get over there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're watching us tonight, make sure you hit follow, hit subscribe, all that. We appreciate that. Get over to the Garage Beers at the Garage Beers on the socials to follow us there. Obviously, just having more organic followers. I don't want to do the whole thing where I got to like find people to follow us, but have people go follow us, and it helps us get guests on the show. So that is appreciated. Make sure you go follow the show. Next, thank you goes out to our guest, Jonathan Wells. Man, that was so much fun. All I want to do is go take shots of tequila with Jonathan Wells after that. But Jonathan Wells from the Buckeyes, former Buckeye, and the stories he told about his time with the Buckeyes, Jim Tressel, this version of the Buckeyes, all that, so awesome. So big time shout out to Jonathan Wells for taking time out of his Dominican vacation birthday celebration to come hang out with us tonight. That was awesome. Our last thank you goes out to all of you, whether you joined us live here tonight for episode 292 and you were in the comments going crazy. We appreciate you guys. You guys were awesome. Or if you didn't make it live and you're watching us on demand on YouTube or Twitch, or on listening to us on the podcast version on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen, we appreciate you. We love you. And you're the reason we do it. So that's going to do it for episode 292 for Chad Meyer over there on the east side of Cleveland. For Joey Whalen over there in Seattle, I am Michael Keefe. Go follow the show again at the Garage Beers, and we'll see you next week for episode 293. Until then, cheers, everybody.